Alright, picture this. You spent the last 2 hours on YouTube and you've decided that you want to start an AI business. I mean, at this point, you've probably got like 9 different tabs open, each with a different video on what business to actually start. But which one? AI automation agencies? AI apps? Websites? Maybe trading or dropshipping? And it looks like whichever one you click on, the guy presenting the video is telling you that that's the easiest business model. If you're in South Africa right now, then most of the advice that you're getting from these different YouTube channels weren't necessarily made for you. It's built for different markets and different customers with different purchasing powers. So when I tried these businesses, I kept failing. Sometimes I needed money that I didn't have. Sometimes I was the 10,000th person selling the exact same thing. And sometimes the model just didn't translate to where we are currently. I spent years trying to figure this out. And I was a student while doing it, losing money that I honestly couldn't afford to lose on business models that, looking back now, probably weren't even going to work anyway. And after enough of that, you start thinking, maybe you're the problem. Maybe you're just not good at business. Maybe you're cursed or something. But ladies and gentlemen, that couldn't be further from the truth. See, if you're anything like me and you thought this of yourself, then you need to realize that you were never the problem. All you needed to do was find a business model that actually worked for where you were. Something that I could start without needing a pile of money to do it, without having some huge audience that's ready to buy what I want to sell, without connections, and without throwing a bunch of money into ads just hoping that they convert. And I call it the AI operations agency. And now I'm not going to tell you that is the easiest business model, but I will tell you that it does work in South Africa and it is a very profitable business. Like any business model, you need to learn how to sell, you need to learn how to solve real problems, and how to actually deliver on what you promised. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to build an AI operations agency here in South Africa from scratch with no prior cash or whatever it is. And now with all that said, let's get straight into it. Okay, so if we're actually going to build this thing, I guess the first question we have to pose to ourselves is, who are we going to sell to? Or in other words, what's your niche? And now a lot of advice you're going to get out there is going to be niche down, find an industry to serve, be loyal to that particular industry, which is obviously very logical advice. If you want to have a voice in a market, you need to have a unique voice, and that's how you speak on people's problems in a more specific way, if you're able to niche down onto a particular individual. But you see, the problem with the advice of niching down most times is someone will tell you niche down into an industry. But I want to pose a different question to you. Instead of niching down into an industry, why don't you niche down onto an avatar? Instead of saying you serve accounting firms, maybe you serve partners at accounting firms that are struggling with document collection, right? So you're sort of thinking of it like that. So niche being an avatar instead of an industry. So for this example, I want something that's quite broad, but still specific enough that when I see one of these businesses, I know why I'm actually reaching out to them. So document heavy businesses where somebody is spending way too much time doing work that probably shouldn't still be manual. And you see, when you frame it like that, your avatar is one particular individual. And that individual can be found in multiple companies, could be found at a recruitment agency, could be found at an accounting firm, could be found with mortgage brokers. So you've opened up your total addressable market, but still being able to speak or have a voice in how you actually reach out to these potential prospects. And now that you understand what your niche is, who your avatar is, the individual you're targeting is, you need to know what they actually struggle with, right? And you need to, this doesn't have to be vague, like you need to think of this from the perspective of, would they pay money for this, right? A very good example is always going to be you having a toothache. There is no amount of money that you're not going to pay to have that toothache, resolved or whatever it is. You're going to go to the dentist and you're going to pay the money, maybe even put it on credit. And that just shows you how painful a particular, problem is within a business. And so you need to ask yourself, what I'm solving, is it an actual pain point? Is it losing them income? Is it losing revenue? Is it wasting time within their business? And do they actually see it as a problem, first of all? Are they actively looking for solutions for this particular problem? And that actually takes us into the next step or next phase of this video, actually, which is going to be building our offer live. Now, as you heard me talking before, we need something to sell, right? We found who we would potentially want to sell to. We've defined what an avatar is, what a niche is, but what are we actually going to sell? And so this all starts from the pain, right? We configured document heavy businesses, people dealing with a lot of admin, right? And so when we're coming up with our offer, we now need to think, okay, what are we going to do for this person and why should they give us money for it? Now, to explain this the best I can, I'm going to give you an example of a bad offer, an example of a good offer. A bad offer is something like we do AI automation for businesses. That is incredibly vague. Like everyone else is saying that you quite literally look like noise in the market. There's no reason for them to buy from you. You're not saying what problem you're solving. You're not saying the value that you're providing. Why should they come to you? I mean, would you buy from yourself even? All you're doing when you're saying something like that is just telling them what you do, but you're not necessarily giving them a reason to care about what you do. All right, so crafting our good offer now. And we're going to need to have an example here. And I'm going to use our mortgage brokers, right? That's sort of a document heavy business. So, say I'm speaking to a mortgage broker, right? And every time that somebody applies for a mortgage, they need a whole bunch of documents. So ID, proof of income, bank statements, and whatever else they need, right? But obviously, people don't send everything perfectly the first time. And mortgage brokers are the ones that are immediately aware of that. Sometimes someone will send 4 out of 7 documents. Sometimes someone will send the wrong bank statements entirely. But you see, there's somebody, if not multiple people within that mortgage broker business that have to go through those documents. So we sort of like have our view here. Initially, we were at document, collection and, sort of like people within repetitive admin. But now we've niched down a bit further. We found mortgage brokers who are suffering with incomplete applications and have to do manual document chasing. Now, this is a bit more interesting than what we had initially, but let's work a bit further. So ideally, we would want a system that can check when documents come in, identify what's actually missing, and then follow up automatically in a perfect world. So instead of their team manually opening every application and figuring out what's missing, the system does that first. Okay, so we have an idea of what we actually want to sell, but it's not an offer yet. Because an offer is a complete deal or a bundle of deals that you're putting in front of a customer to, have them have the intent of buying. So if we have this, for example, we help mortgage brokers reduce the time their team spends checking and chasing client documents by automatically identifying missing requirements and following up with applicants. That's something that's infinitely better than I build AI automations for businesses, as you probably see. Now, when you want to stress test your offer, when you've come up with an offer and you think it's valuable, one good thing that you can always do is come up or go back to the value equation. And I'm not going to take this and say it's something I created. But yeah, the value equation is essentially defined by value of any offer being equal to the dream outcome multiplied by the likelihood of achievement of that particular solution divided by the time delay, or so the time that would take to actually get it running, and then the effort and sacrifice. And so you don't have to be a mathematical genius to understand that. Just want the dream outcome and the likelihood of achievement as high as possible, and the time delay and the effort and sacrifice to be as low as possible. Because time delay and the effort and sacrifice is obviously inversely proportional to the value of the offer. So what does this person actually want? Well, what they want is for these applications to move through properly and get completed faster, and for more of those loans to actually get approved, because when the loan gets approved, they get paid. So if I can help them get more applications through this process, then that means I'm actually tying into how they make more money. And if you're able to relate this, if you're able to explain this to the business owner in your offer, then that's going to be much more valuable to them, and that gives them a reason to care. Okay, cool. Our dream outcome looks perfect. Now let's look at the time delay. How long is this actually going to take us to actually implement for them? if you're using the correct AI tools, and if you stay here until the delivery section of this video, then delivering this could take anywhere from like 2 to 3 weeks, which is not a long time in comparison to other software products that people are usually trying to deliver on. Okay, what's the perceived likelihood of achievement? Again, this is directly tied to how well you can actually use the AI tools to do this. You guys leave a comment down below if you'd actually want me to make a video on how to deliver, like specifically how to deliver and make these solutions for these different businesses. And then for effort and sacrifice, look, you need to think of it in this case, right? If the business has to, start training their staff, has to, come up with all these different SOPs simply to take on your solution, then you're seeing that there's a lot of work that they have to do to actually have the solution, and that decreases the value of your offer. So you want to remove as much resistance as possible and remove as much risk as possible. And so, different ways of doing this, if you're a beginner, ways to mitigate risk, simply being upfront about it and telling them that you could run this as a pilot phase or discovery phase for 30 days. If they're happy with the result, they pay you. If they aren't, they don't pay you. And the risk is entirely on you and not on them. Trust me, it's going to be easier to sign a client that way. All right, and there we have it. We finally have our offer and we've stress tested it against the value equation. And it seems to have done well against every other benchmark on those variables. Now we know who we want to sell to and what we're actually selling, but how are we going to find these people, right? On this next stage of this video, I'm actually going to let you in on an AI tool that I've been using quite recently. It's called Xpectrum AI. So this is a platform where you can build AI agents, you can build AI workflows, AI triggers. You can do so much, and the use cases are honestly just limitless. And for this particular video, I actually made an AI client acquisition workflow where you simply click on a trigger. It's going to ask you, what your offer is, what your target market is, the price point that you want these people to be able to pay, and then obviously the business description. You put in that, it gives you a JSON file, and you get a Google sheet of different clients that you can actually reach out to. And there's not people from MTN, there's not people from Standard Bank. These are actual leads that would actually respond to you. These are small to medium-sized businesses that are able to afford a 30 to even 50,000 Rand price point if you present it to them with the appropriate value. Okay, so let me go ahead and show you Xpectrum AI. So this is the canvas, right? What you can actually start by doing is simply going and getting the free JSON file, free resource that I created for you guys on my school community. Download that and you export onto the canvas here that you're seeing on Xpectrum AI. And after you do that, you want to simply press run. After you press run, you put in your offer. As you've seen here, it's asked you for your offer, your target market, your price range, and the amount of leads you need, business description as well. Put all of that information in there. And then as an output, after we wait for a while, you're going to see the result being a JSON output. You're going to copy all of what you see here. After you copy all of that, you're going to take it to Claude and you're going to ask it, kindly make me a nicely designed Google sheet of the JSON file that you're currently seeing. And there you have it. Your final output is a Google sheet of highly qualified sales prospects for what you're actually offering. And so you see, the good thing about this particular workflow is that it went and got relevant information about how we can actually then potentially reach out to these people. So obviously when you're reaching out to these prospects, you're going to want to have a personalized or tailored message when you're actually doing what you're doing. Something that catches their eye, that lets them know, one, you know what you're talking about, and two, what you're saying is relevant to them, right? So the more specific you can get about what you say in those messages, the better it is. And if you guys are worried about like any cost with using this, for the entirety of how you're going to use this, they actually give you $10 free credit. And let's get straight into the next part of this video where we actually look at how we can reach out to these people. Okay, so when reaching out, we want to be particular about how we actually, get these messages out there. First of all, well, we know the value that we're providing. Yeah, sure. But that's the thing. We know the value that we're providing. How can we directly send a message that's going to let the prospect be aware of what we're doing? So for this method, obviously we're doing cold outreach. We're going to be sending a bunch of messages for this. And a good framework that I found to be extremely useful is simply just being upfront and putting a demo video right in front of them so they can see your solution at work. And so I created a demo video here. You see the video below here. Yeah, simply just said, okay, hi team, quick call message. I saw that ETC handles pre-approvals and home loan applications digitally. I imagine some applicants complete the initial inquiry but then take time to submit all the pay slips, the statements, sign forms, and etc. I built a lightweight AI system that detects what has arrived, flags what remains, and prepares the relevant applicant follow-up automatically. Mind if I send over a quick demo video? So you see here, I didn't start off sending the demo video, which I should have done, but again, the video, I guess, it was more so a very painful point for them. So them seeing that was like, okay, let's hear what he has to say. And yeah, sent it through. I won't say much else about this, obviously for client confidentiality. But if we're to look at this particular message, what did we do right? Okay. First of all, we don't open simply saying, I've got this solution for you, or I've got this specific AI feature that can do this, can do that. We open by what we see their daily life to be, right? It's very personalized. So it's mortgage brokers, right? But it's extremely personalized to how they operate daily. And we don't only personalize it in that sense, but we personalize it in the regard of it being a pain point. And they read that and they're like, well, this is like my daily life. How does he know that? And it goes, and then, we've painted this picture of a solution, not features, but, the pain points that they have within their business, and then painted our solution at the end as a sort of like cherry on top. We built that lightweight AI system that detects what has arrived. And so it's like, oh, so there's a solution to this. Can I see it? I want to see it. And that's an example of how you can think of, writing up these messages to these different businesses. Obviously, if you want higher retention, yeah, it does help to say, mind if I send over a video of how it looks to, get that initial engagement from them. But if you want to just do it all at once, again, it doesn't hurt. You can do that and then send the video right after that. And you can see we've gotten a response there. Hi there, thanks for reaching out. We're keen on having a look. Please share the video. And again, remember what we were talking about initially with the value equation and how our perceived likelihood of achievement is an important variable in that? Well, then when you send a video or a demo video of what solution you're presenting to them, it shows them that, well, it's already been done, right? And it's easy to see, it's in front of them. So this can be done. This is not some theoretical thing. You have the solution ready to give to them. And so our offer when reaching out to these people is ultimately made way higher and way more valuable. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you're going to, one, find what to sell, find who to sell it to, where you can find them using the Xpectrum AI workflow that I generated for you guys, and then ultimately how to reach out to them. The next step is obviously, well, after they say yes and after they say they're happy with whatever you've said you want to, provide to them, is going to be able to actually deliver on what you promised. This is an entirely different video and is a bit more in depth. So you guys comment down below if you'd want a video on that, and I'm gonna get straight to work and start doing that for you. Which, to be honest, is probably gonna come either way. But yeah, if you guys also just want more handheld help where as you're doing this, if you found a lot of confusion in this navigating this AI space, or you want to start an AI business now after watching this and you understand the benefits of having an AI business, a lucrative, profitable one, and you want to just change your situation, then you can simply book a call with me. I'll be doing one-on-ones. Obviously, they're limited because they're one-on-ones. There's actually quite a few spots already. So yeah, it's very limited spots there, but you can book a call with me. So link is in the comments for that. So yeah, as I said, the workflow is free. The workflow to actually get these clients is free. Simply just join the free school community, join us there, and then you download that and export it onto Xpectrum AI. I've left a link to join Xpectrum AI as well. So yeah, you can simply click on that link, is in the description. Obviously the credits, $10 is not going to last you forever, but you're going to generate a whole lot of leads for free for a very long time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a lot of value from this and have an understanding and a clearer view of what to do if you want to start your own AI business. Obviously, as I said, if you guys want a more in-depth video about service delivery and how to actually build these AI systems for these different clients, then comment down below Let me know what you guys would actually want, and I'll get that done for you. There's a lot of opportunity within the space. There's so much to be done, and there's so much on the table. It's simply up to you to go get it and simply just tell yourself you want a piece of the pie. Honestly, I mean, to simply just sit by the sidelines while people are profiting and making money from this is simply just ridiculous, right? The average people that you are better than, people that you're smarter than, who are doing this and are benefiting from this, building generational wealth. So to sit back and just let it happen is probably not what you want to do. And so, look, that's the reason why I make these videos. It's for you who aspires to, make a life for yourself, who aspires to just find something worth doing and make a difference within your own life, and ultimately within the lives of the people that are around you. And with all that said, guys, this is the end of the video. Do comment and subscribe. It does help. Yeah, I'm wishing you all Godspeed on your journeys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.